Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Muscle News and Merlin podcast with my buddy Eric Brozer. How are you, Eric?
I am doing well over here in Las Vegas. How are you doing in Malta?
Good, good. I'm on the yearly shutdown, so um, I'm on break this week, so I'm a bit relaxed, you know.
Oh, yeah, you seem relaxed today.
Yeah. Um, Sometimes you relax too much, you know. You start, drifting away from things, but we're always seeing what's happening in the bodybuilding world and stuff like that.
Well,
Um,
that we never relax about.
yeah,
We're always
yeah.
that's 24/7 for us.
Yeah, you were busy the last week with your athletes.
Yes, I was busy. I had well, actually, I had two gals do the Masters Olympia in
Yeah,
Tokyo,
yeah,
and then I had actually a couple other clients who did shows in different parts of the country. So it was an interesting week. But I'll tell you what was most interesting about it, just as an aside, was that because these girls had to go to Tokyo.
yeah.
They actually lost in their travel, they lost a full day.
Oh, yeah.
So I, as a coach, had to like adjust my thinking to
Wow,
understand that when they got there, they were completely like a day ahead of me. So
wow,
their peaking
wow.
process was interesting. And then the other thing that happened to both of them, and I don't know why this was, I don't know if there was special rules. They've always been able to bring their food with them on the plane. Now that's Roshana in the purple
Yeah.
and Candace in the bluish color there. Those are both my athletes. They took away their food from them. So they had no food for
Wow,
like 14, 16 hours. So they were freaking out when they got to Tokyo. They're like, Coach, we had no food.
wow.
Are we ruined? So I had to like get them out of that. But yeah, it was a crazy, crazy week of peaking to having to have that losing that day.
And what was the time difference? Like, when did they call you?
So I think between where I am in Vegas and where when they got in Tokyo, their time was, I think they were 15 hours ahead of me.
Wow.
So I had to like adjust my thinking to knowing that we had a day less
Holy cow.
to, peak.
Yeah.
So it was kind of strange. And then of course them having no food on the plane. I mean, and they weren't going to eat airline food. So they had missed an entire day of eating protein and carbs. So of course, when they got there, they were super flat and drained. So it was very, very tough. But the result though is they still both ended up on the stage in their best ever conditions. They both made first call out. Rashana placed fourth in the bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding. Candace placed fifth out of 22 girls. And people after she's 53 years old or
Yeah.
54,
Yeah.
and it's only 40 and over. So I mean, aside from her and one other girl, all the girls were way younger, and she still
Yeah.
managed to place fifth out of 22. So it was a very successful show. And like I said, I only want my athletes to always beat their previous best.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, that's winning. So I can't, we can't control what the judges do,
No,
after that.
of
But if
course.
they're beat their previous best, then my job as a coach is done and their job as an athlete is done in my eyes. So we got a really nice result. Rashana was the original Miss Olympia in 2023. She won the Masters, so she didn't retain her title, but this lineup was much tougher and she still pulled out a fourth place. And it
You
was
know,
very, very good.
you
It
can't
was a
win them
good
all,
result.
but they did their best, and you know,
They
um,
looked fantastic, and they
yeah.
look their best ever, and that's all I can ask of them. And Roshana is still, Candace is going to take a break now because she's competed a few times this year. And Roshana is going to go on, and we're going to do Germany in September, and then Los Angeles a
Wow.
week later in September to try to get her Olympia qualification because we want to see if we can get to the Olympia.
Um, I mean, it it shows you what competitors go through when they're traveling, because the traveling can make them or break them, you
It's
know?
very tough.
Yeah. And it's like once I heard Kevin saying Levroni, everybody would be sitting in the plane, and he would pace up and down. I heard him say once, pace up and down the aisle just to get, the blood moving a bit,
Just to
and
move, yeah.
everybody else, gets, either they, retain water, or if he could, he would avoid using a plane. He would go by car or bus somewhere, because it makes a difference.
Yeah, and I mean, and then when you're talking about, you know, I mean, let's say if you live in the US and you have to travel state to state,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fine.
maybe the flight's a couple hours. It could be
Yeah,
up to maybe 6 hours if it's across
yeah,
the country. But when you go into another country and you're talking
yeah,
about a new time zone and you're a day ahead, I mean,
yeah,
that makes things very difficult on the competitor and the coach.
yeah,
And then when it gets complicated by the airline taking
yeah,
their food away,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, taking the food away from a bodybuilder who's
yeah,
trying to peak for a show is like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
what could possibly be
yeah,
worse?
yeah. Take my clothes, leave the food, you know?
Yeah, can I have my food? I just get rid of my bag. Just let me have
Yeah,
my food. But
yeah, yo, I know
so it was a crazy situation. So
yeah, when I travel with some friends in events in Europe and they have the food with them, it's like when we're going through, you're going through, I'm like, oh God. When they take out the protein powder, it's labeled protein powder. What's this?
right, they check it though. They check it to see if it's like some sort of bomb
Yeah, or
concoction
some drug or something,
with drugs or something. I
Yeah,
know I had that happen to me once. I took a tub of protein powder that was, like in a regular can or, normal. I took a whole tub. It wasn't even like in a bag. So it was
yeah,
like the tub of protein. It had chocolate flavor, whatever. And they still took it out and they took a sample of it.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like, what do you think that this is? Chocolate bomb powder or chocolate drugs?
yeah,
They did it and then they let me through. So
yeah, yeah. Staying on uh the subject of the Masters Olympia, okay?
yes, we wanted to talk about something interesting.
Yeah, this week, some guys are talking about it, which was quite controversial. Let me share the screen. Um, the placing, you're seeing that? So
Yes, now I see it.
we have Dorian. He won. Dorian Haywood. So in judging, he was 14th.
Which
He had
actually puts him
14
third.
points. He had
Which
14
actually puts him
points.
third.
Yeah. And in the finals, I think he had a perfect score. Phil Clark, um, he was winning in prejudging with 6 points.
By a lot.
Yeah. And he fell to second, overall with 20 points. He lost by 1 point. All right. At the end. What's funny is Domenico from Germany,
Was in second after prejudge.
he was second after prejudging, and he kept the same points in finals, and he finished with 22, 3 points off first place. Then all the other scores, if you notice,
Are all the same.
80-80, yeah, 78, 78, 70, 70, 65. Only one was different, 19 and 20.
Basically
So,
the same.
what can happen in something like this between prejudging and finals? How is it like, all right, if they were like 1 point between each other, I can understand it, but you were, a definite third. You know what I mean?
I have to say that I've never seen anything like this in all my years in this sport. I have never seen a swing like this ever. And if you pretty much know the sport, pretty much whoever's ahead at prejudging, unless it's extremely close, is
Yeah,
usually the one who wins the show.
yeah, yeah,
Now, when you're talking about a 6 point, he's got 6 points
yeah,
versus a person who has 14 points
yeah,
who's in third.
yeah,
Unless, I mean, unless the person in third showed up at night like
yeah.
so much crazy better, and then the person who was in first after prejudging, I mean, blew his diet and like, I don't know, ate 14 slices of pizza and came back like a water balloon at night. But that didn't happen if you look at the pictures.
I
So
know, I know.
I cannot
Trying to think.
fathom, and I don't want to say anything that's accusatory or derogatory,
No, no,
because
I
I
know.
don't know anything. But I have to say, this is something that I don't understand, and I would love to hear an explanation as to
Why?
why this is possible.
Yeah, and
How someone can go from being so far from first
yeah,
points wise to that, but then and then going to a literal perfect score at night. It doesn't make sense.
yeah. The thing is, Steve Weinberger was there.
I know, and Steve is like a straight shooter,
Yeah,
honest guy, like I mean, he's known to be, I mean, he's obviously head judge for a reason. He's knows the sport. He knows, I
yeah,
mean, he's
yeah.
a solid man and a solid judge. So I don't,
I don't
that's
know.
why I'd love to ask him. I'd be like, Steve, how did this happen?
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't understand. Then then there's some other media channels. They start saying, how can you say there's no politics in bodybuilding? Because that's then something like that, like tarnishes the sport. All right. If I remember correctly, last year Phil wasn't happy with, I think, an event or something, and he said something, and then some guys in the media, told him, you should just retire and things like that. So he was a bit bitter. Um, but everybody has a right for their own opinion, So I don't think the judges should take that into consideration. If they
Well, you
did,
would hope not. You would hope that that
yeah,
not take into consideration
yeah,
because
yeah,
we all don't want to believe. Listen, I mean, everybody talks about politics in the sport.
yeah,
We don't want to believe that it actually exists. We want to believe that
yeah,
everything's on the up and fair and square.
yeah,
But when you see something like this, I mean, there's always going to be complaints like, oh, this person, I came in second because this person, is really close, but this
yeah,
person
yeah,
had a
yeah,
sponsor
yeah,
or this or that.
yeah,
But this is just a very odd swing. I mean, like you said, if it was like one guy had 6 points and the other guy had 7 or 8 points, and then it reversed at night, you could see that. But from 14 points in third place to a perfect score versus
that that that
second place to
yeah,
basically he got a third place score
yeah,
because like Domenico had 2 11s. So you had a first place score go to a third place
yeah,
score.
yeah.
It's very, very odd, and it definitely deserves an explanation.
I can't understand it. I'm trying to find. I think I found some footage of the prejudging, um, from
Yeah, I mean, it'd be important for people to see like uh, if somebody's condition, I mean, it's so strange. I highly doubt that anybody's condition
is
changed
from
that.
Nick's Power and Strength. So I don't know if you're seeing it properly.
I see it.
I
I
mean,
see
it's
it.
not so clear. Um,
So that is that first and second?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, well, I would clearly have number 211 in front of the other guy. And I'm sorry, I sometimes forget these names because some of these guys I'm not as familiar with.
yeah. I know. So you have. I mean, the footage is not so clear, obviously, but
It's a little easier to see when they get up closer to them.
what's his name? The guy that won. Because we've been, moving around so much. Some he looks at Phil looked sometimes he looked a bit, not as sharp as him, but like his back obviously was, wider and things like that. But I think the other guy from the front, what's his name? Dorian.
I
Yeah,
yeah.
Dorian, right?
Yeah, he's very strong in the side pose there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So maybe
So is this, but what are we looking at? Are we looking, if we're
prejudging.
looking at prejudging.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
is there any video footage of finals to see if
the
conditioning,
argument was the background was too busy. That was
it is
the
too busy.
that was the
It is
argument.
too busy.
That's what Nick is talking about here.
Yeah, well, that may be true, but that still doesn't mean that's
Yeah,
still the same for everybody.
yeah. I mean the judges are, all there. Let me see if I find something of the final.
Yeah, see if there's something in the finals to see if, there's some major shift in physiques,
Yeah, yeah.
which would be hard to believe. I don't think that
I
these
don't
guys
I
would
don't
just,
think
I don't think you can improve that much or get bad that fast unless you really tried. I mean, unless you just somebody sabotaged him and poured salt down his throat while he was sleeping.
yeah, yeah. Let me see if there's something here. There's not too much
Yeah, there's not a lot of footage out there, unfortunately.
no, no, no. Unfortunately not. I didn't I mean,
Well, I mean,
mostly prejudging anyways.
yeah, so I mean, regardless, I just I don't understand it. And like I said, I'm not going to make any accusations
No,
because I know
no,
and I
no.
would never make any accusations, especially against Steve.
Yeah.
Um, I, I just don't understand it, and it's just such a major turn of events that I would love. I would just love to hear Steve go like, "Okay, here's why it happened," and then explain it.
Yeah, I think something like this, when something like this happens, I think they should do a video or something and explain, listen, because if they stay silent, more people are going to say that there's politics involved, you know. I think they have to try to be as transparent as much as possible, um,
I mean, Kevin, imagine this happened at the Mr. Olympia. Could you
yeah,
imagine? Could you imagine? Let's just say, I don't know, off the top of my head, Samson Samson Data was in first place after prejudging. Hottie was in second, and Derek was in third. Let's just say,
yeah,
and then at night, Derek wins the show, and Samson ends up in second. Like that would people would go nuts.
of course, of course,
So, and I'm sure there would have to be some type of
yeah,
explanation.
yeah,
So even though I mean, this is still a Masters Miss Olympia. This is still a big event.
yeah, of
And I
course,
think that there's going to be people, like you said, who are out there who are going to say politics or
yeah,
this is bullshit or this or
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And and if you want to quell those voices, you need to,
yeah,
it would be great to have an explanation because it, to me, like I said, I've never seen anything like this, a swing like that. I've seen 1 or 2 point swings, but I've never seen anything like
yeah.
this.
I don't know. I don't know.
So
We have to.
there's really not much more we could say about it because we
No,
don't
we
know.
have to wait and see. I mean, it's like you end up being speechless, you don't know what you're gonna say. I'm even the guy that plays third. How can they explain it to him? He's like, I was in second. What happened?
And
How did the
then and then
guy?
he even beat the guy again at night who was in first.
Yeah,
He had less points than him. And
yeah,
very strange,
yeah.
very strange.
Anyways, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
So,
Wow.
well, that one we're just going to have to leave until we have more
Yeah,
information. And maybe if we
yeah,
do find out more information, we'll certainly bring it to you guys.
yeah. Speaking about old bodybuilders, today, like I heard, on the media, Roelly Winklaar, he had an injury, he lost some size, and lately he's been there like teasing, and now it's like it, the rumor mill is getting momentum that he might come back, you know. Um,
I wonder how old he is. What do you think? He's like 43 or so? Do we
uh,
know?
how old is Roelly?
Because I had seen for a while, I hadn't seen anything about him. And then I had recently seen
He's
something on
48.
Instagram. He's 48. That's very late to come back, but
Yeah.
I could see him coming back and doing the Masters Olympia and dominating. But
Yeah,
I
I
had
don't know.
seen him, a picture of him on Instagram, and his arms still look gigantic.
No, he's like he got smaller, but he still looks fantastic.
Yeah, like he just looks like
Um,
a smaller version of himself, but he still looks
yeah.
like he's still
Now,
crazy.
if he comes back, I don't know what capacity, if it's in the Masters or he might, you know, maybe try to do an Arnold. I don't think he'll win, but that Arnold thing is driving people crazy with that 750,000. Is it 800? No,
750
700.
right now.
Yeah, 750. A lot of but and as well on Jay Cutler's latest podcast, they were shooting names around. They were talking about, this prize money and stuff again. Um, and Phil Heath's name came up. It's like I don't know if Milos asked him or manager Matt. He said, "Jay, would you come back for that prize money?" And Jay was like, "Oh no, I'm out. I'm not. I don't have that super. Those genetics like Flex
And
Wheeler and Kevin
honestly, Jay
McGrody."
doesn't even need the money.
Yeah, no, I know, but
That's not even that enticing to him.
yeah, even if he tried, he said, "I don't have that genetics where I go in the gym for 6 months and I come out looking like a work of art." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they mentioned Phil Heath. Phil, I mean, I met him a couple of months ago. He's still, he's a bit down, but he's still huge. The base is there. Now I don't know how his abs are, but they were like saying, he could still do some damage if he had to come back, you know. I don't know what maybe if you think it the same way.
I think that once you're out of the sport for the period of time that he's been out, that you can't come back the way you used to be.
Yeah.
And I think that
45.
if he came back,
Yeah.
could he still be a factor, like somebody who could be battling for like a top six? He probably could because he's so good. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like when we saw Kevin Levrone come back for
No,
that
that
one
was,
Olympia.
yeah,
And listen, he looked amazing. I
of
mean,
course.
especially his upper body. He didn't have any legs anymore. So it's like sometimes when you get older, are you going to really put in that leg work that you need to put
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be compared to
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
guys with these monster legs? I don't know. Is
Yeah.
your skin going to still be as tight? So I don't see Phil at this point making a comeback because even though the prize money's big, I don't know if Phil's going to say to himself, I can win. I could still
Yeah,
beat
that's
these
the
guys.
thing. You're going
So
in
you
to
still have
win.
to win to get that crazy prize money. So
Yeah. And you know that the Olympia lineup are going to go into that contest next year, you know.
yeah, so I mean I don't really see that happening. I mean, could he do it? I mean, yeah, I mean he could probably do it, but I don't think he can win anymore. I think he could still look good. He'd still be in the top 10 of the Olympia probably. He could
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
maybe even win some of the smaller pro shows, but
Yeah.
I don't think at this point he's probably not going to be the Phil Heath that we would want to see.
Yeah, it's true.
You know.
But I'm just saying, these are the names they were, shooting around and
Oh, then throw out Kai Green because Kai Green
yeah,
is threatened to
Kai.
come back 100 times, and
Yeah.
he's still enormous.
Yeah. Yeah, he
So if
doesn't.
anybody should come back, it's him. He hasn't lost any size.
Unbelievable. I mean, a guy's career just goes down the drain just because of not some agreement fell through at the Mr. Olympia or something. I don't know the backstory about it, it's always changing, but it's a shame, he was just he was one step, away, you
He
know.
was, and he's great for the sport. I mean, his posing,
Yeah.
on stage, he's a really interesting person. He's colorful. He was
Yeah.
great for the sport. He was almost like a wrestler's kind of person, professional
Yeah.
wrestler's
Yeah.
personality in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So we miss him, and he obviously hasn't stopped because
No, no,
whenever you
no.
see him, he's still basically the same size as he was when he stopped. So
I don't know. I
that'd
don't
be a
know.
guy I'd love to see come back.
Yeah, it's a shame, it's a shame that Kai, just because of things that happen behind the scenes, he just like, you know, walked away from the biggest you know, event of the year,
I
So
mean, I'd love to see all of these guys come back and do the Masters Olympia. Could
yeah,
you imagine having like a Kai, Phil? I
yeah,
mean, having some of these older guys come back who could
yeah,
still look amazing and do that. Because the Masters, the bodybuilding lineup at the Masters Olympia is, I don't want to say no names because they're all professionals, but I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they're not like A-level
No,
lister
no,
that
no,
we
no.
know.
Yep. Yeah,
Could you imagine like how much a popularity would draw with a Kai versus
yeah,
Phil again versus,
yeah.
I mean, that'd be crazy.
It's like when Kamal won it, you know, um, nobody could beat him. No, and even if he had to go in this time and he was in shape, nobody would have beat him because he still had a physique that was still world class. So there's some bodybuilders they make the age limit by a year or 6 months. And imagine Dexter. Did Dexter win that?
He won it once.
Yeah,
Yeah, not long ago.
imagine Dexter going in like with these guys, a guy like Dexter. He would just blow everybody away.
I mean, look, Brandon Curry is over
Yeah,
40. He could walk into that show and destroy everybody.
yeah, at 80%, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a couple other guys that are up near
Yeah,
40. Hadi Chupin's going to be near 40 soon. I mean, these guys in the Masters Olympia would just
yeah,
smash everyone. But
yeah, yeah.
imagine Roelly Winkler, Phil Heath, Kai Green, Brandon Curry. Could you imagine that? It would be like, I mean, that would blow. I mean, there would probably be so many sales for the
Yeah.
live stream. It would be nuts.
It would be good. I don't know, maybe who knows in the next that's every 2 years. Maybe they'll do it in the States this time again, or somewhere in
Yeah,
Europe.
and I think they have to make the prize money a little higher to give these guys a
Yeah,
little more incentive because I don't
yeah,
think it's that high
yeah,
yet. But I think it'd be an amazing thing to see.
yeah, yeah. Um, so that's that for the Masters and the
Yeah, so
Masters
we'll
and
will Rolly come back?
who
That'd be
knows?
fun.
Yeah,
If he come
yeah.
back, that'd be fun. But we don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Comebacks are nice, but we all get lost in, the nostalgia of when the person was at their best. We always have to remember 10 years has passed, 15 years, injuries, operations, life, so we have to see what happens. Um Next up, you had a good um, idea for a topic, couples posing, couples competitions.
Yes.
In the 80s and early 90s, they were big.
They're
There was
popular.
the
They're very popular.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was the World Championships, and let me get the window here. There was the World Championships. Like this footage is of Juliet Bergman. She's a former Miss Olympia, and Tony Pearson in 1986.
And he
Uh,
was one of the best pros back then.
yeah. So um, the footage is not so great, but
Well, it's yeah, it's probably looks like somebody got off a
let
television
me get
set.
them on stage here. You know, to be fair, um, this is still happening in Europe. When they get three or four couples, they'll do an event at either a world championships or a European championships or some kind of Diamond Cup of the IFBB of the side of Rafael to so everybody understands. Um, you're saying in 1986 back then there was no split, so everything was you know uh, there were world championships for these things, and it was great, you know.
I mean, look at the artistry that's involved
Yeah,
here. It's
yeah,
it's it's beautiful, and I think that it would also bring a little bit more of a mainstream
yeah.
feeling
No,
into it because there's a beauty to these routines having to choreo. It's one thing choreographing for yourself, but choreographing two people
yeah, yeah,
and look, they're doing a great job. And may
yeah,
I
yeah,
mention, look at how good Tony Pearson looks. I mean, look at that physique. Look at
yeah,
that little waist,
yeah,
that vacuum. But I mean, I personally think, and the reason why I came up with this idea, which I mentioned to you before off air, is I was talking to uh, Keon, who
yeah,
everybody knows Keon at this point.
yeah,
Keon and his beautiful girlfriend Amanda, his fiance, I should say. Keon's obviously getting ready for the Olympia. Amanda's getting ready to compete, I think, for her final year. And obviously they both look amazing. You watch them walking around the gym together. They
yeah.
both have these enormous backs. And I said, you guys should maybe, I think you guys can make a lot of money and get even more popular if you
Guest
guys
pose.
would get together and guest pose and do couples posing. And then that it made me think about couples posing because we talk about posing a lot and how the
Yeah,
artistry of posing is gone to a large degree. And I think that there still would be room for couples
of course.
competitions.
Yeah,
And I mean, and if not big, huge competitions, there would be room for a
yeah.
lot of guest posing. This is what a more 2019.
This is 2019 at the IFBB World Fitness Championships. Like I said, it still goes on. Whoops. Some women's physique athletes do it, and men's classic physique athletes. Some bodybuilders do it. It depends. It
See,
depends.
that's the
Sometimes,
cool.
yeah,
That's the cool thing about it. You know what? It
yeah.
doesn't have to be open bodybuilders. You
No,
can you
no,
could pair a classic guy with a wellness girl. You could pair,
yeah,
a
yeah.
bikini girl with an
No,
open guy. It'd be interesting.
yeah. I think this one there's different ones. Um, I don't know if it's the same couple. No, this is a different couple now. You see?
Yeah, it looks to me like a not. He's definitely not. I don't think he's an open body. He looks like he could be maybe a classic
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. Or he can. Oh, don't forget back then. There's different weight categories, so
Right. Okay. So,
he
but
might be
you
like,
can see he's not an, and she's more looks more
yeah.
like bikini.
And as well, what they do in Europe is men's physique and bikini, and they do like the T walk, and they'll do a couples as well. So they're adding that as well. Like people say, you know, uh, these events might be useless in the States, but listen, in Europe they love these things. You know,
But I don't think that'd be useless in the States. I think that if they brought it back, it would be popular. I think you'd
I-
see
you know,
a lot of different couples
yeah,
getting together, and you would have to base it on a lot of it would have to be based on the
yeah,
routine, kind of like the fitness girls, where most of the score is the routine.
yeah,
And then of course you could judge the physiques too. But I don't know. I personally think
yeah.
it would draw an audience because there's definitely something to this, the
Yeah,
artistry and the choreography,
of
and
course.
seeing, the male and the female physique side by side.
Did you notice the physique? You notice the midsection? This guy, he's a masters competitor now. he's a freak, man.
His midsection's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. This is the quality there is at the European and World Championships, that people forget, And
Well, listen,
some guys, I know this guy well as well. They do great show, and the crowd loves it.
I
So
know, and I think they'd love it in America too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they should. Anyways, I think they should just bring it back.
I say bring it back. I mean, listen, they've been bringing on all kinds of new divisions,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's not like I'm looking to make shows any longer, but maybe it could be something that could be part of like
yeah,
sometimes they just do an open bikini contest or an open wellness contest alone with maybe some amateurs, have it along with that, something like
yeah.
that. I think it would be a great thing to bring back to the sport, and I personally think it would be popular.
Do you think maybe I don't want to sound like an idiot, but do you think it changed back then when the female bodybuilders started getting really massive? There's a difference from seeing Juliet and seeing um, what's her name? Uh, like the sport like evolved after Corey. They started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you think maybe that's why they walked away from that? Because it's like,
I mean, it could be. I don't personally think so. I think that, because even could you imagine like Linda Murray,
yeah,
you know, doing routines? I mean, I'm not even. She was way bigger than
yeah,
Corey or Sharon Bruneau or those girls, but I think that still pair like a Linda Murray. Can you imagine like a Linda Murray physique with Lee Haney? Like, I
yeah.
mean, like, could you imagine like how amazing that would look? Because
But
the guys are still so much bigger than the girls. I
I
don't
can
know
see
if it's
like,
that.
yeah, a Bob Paris, a Francis Benfato, a Barry DeMay, that type of physique. I cannot see a Jay Cutler, Kai Green, Phil Heath doing
Right,
that.
but but even so,
Yeah,
could you imagine if Kai Green, with his
yeah,
creativity,
Kai can
brought
do
a
it.
brought a beautiful female in with
Yeah,
him and
yeah,
what they could do on
yeah.
stage
Kai can
together?
do it.
I mean, Kai could do it, but a lot of people can. I think the bodybuilders who appreciate, the classic guys, they probably do this like crazy. Could you imagine classic bodybuilders with
Yeah,
the way they pose, most of them, and bring on with
yeah,
them a bikini girl, a wellness girl, or even a female bodybuilder
yeah,
and put together
yeah.
a routine?
It would be
I
good.
personally think that it would be
No,
popular, and be worth it.
it's a part of a show that I really don't mind. I
Even listen, they could even do it once a year. It could just be like the
yeah,
one championship a year where they do this.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be all the time.
yeah. I mean,
And you don't have to qualify for it. You just have to be a pro.
yeah, in Europe, I don't know I think it's still in, but they do the World Championship. So if you win it, you can call yourself the world champion of, mixed pairs, bodybuilding or whatever. So
Yeah. And you don't have to be Mr. or Miss Olympia to win.
no,
You could just be very good and the routine could be amazing. You guys can work well together and you can beat maybe people with better physiques, but their routine isn't as good.
exactly.
I don't know. I see no reason why it wouldn't take
Yeah,
off.
I know it's something like that, it like disappeared, and I think it should come back. And like with all these arguments about posing, it fits in, because that is really artistic. You cannot just go on stage and do the
Correct.
compulsory poses and
Yeah,
walk out.
not both of them going to be out there going like this.
Yeah, no, no.
You know, they're going to have to create a
Yeah,
well choreographed
yeah,
routine that
yeah,
tells a
yeah,
story.
yeah.
And I think that even
And
doing and I think that it would take, I think for guest posings, you get some couples who do, I
yeah,
think they get
yeah.
booked like crazy.
Yeah, and as well, they get them out for the posing. Not everybody. That's the same thing. Pre-judging, they get them all out there together with the other couples, and they do the routine thing, and then they come out and do their performance. So
Yeah,
it's just another. Instead of three people, there'll be six.
I
So
think it'd
that's
be great.
couples, which I think, it should come back. When you told me about it this week, I was like, God, I'm a bit spoiled because I still see it. And then I forgot on the NPC side of things, they like, it disappeared. Um, it's I think it should come back.
I'm curious to our audience if speaking about this topic, if you guys have any opinions on it, if you think it's a good idea,
Yeah,
bad idea,
send us.
put a comment on
Yeah,
the video, or even or send Kevin
yeah,
or I like a message. I
yeah,
mean, I'm curious to hear what you think about it, to see if
yeah,
it's maybe if we get enough support for it. You
yeah,
never know.
yeah. Maybe I can get or Juliet or we can maybe somehow get Tony or and we can talk about it, and
Yeah,
they can
I
tell.
think Tony's here with me in Vegas. I'm pretty
Really?
sure. I'm pretty sure he lives in Vegas.
We have to see how we can get one of these, um,
To talk about it. Yeah.
veterans to talk about their experiences with it. Um, Next up, so before we talk about Quentin,
I always I forget it. I think it's Quinton.
yeah, Quentin. We'll talk about him soon. Because the guy is not going to stop until he gets that Olympia qualification.
He
So,
shouldn't.
next up is today's a bit different, might be a bit longer. Eric doesn't know who I'm going to talk about. My
This is my favorite part because I have
yeah,
no idea
Kevin's
what to
sitting
do.
on the
So
sofa watching Netflix, flipping through his mobile and finding a photo or something, a video for this week's feature. Now, I have a guy, his name, he goes by Destiny 5 on Instagram, D Destiny 5. He
Destiny. Okay.
competes on the with the other IFBB. He's a pro with the
Okay.
IFBB Pro former elite. All
Okay. The
right.
other way. Okay.
This guy, before I start showing pictures, just to get people into it, he placed first at the 2023 Mr. World in Furia. He played first in 2024. He's prepping for the 2025 Mr. World, and they call it the Beanos Classic. That's in October. And he placed first at the Siberian Power Show. It's a Russian pro show. It looks like the Olympia. I mean, it's huge. It's huge, especially the bikini class. I mean, the competitors are just fantastic. So let me start sharing photos about the guy. Now, this guy was being poached by a lot of guys from the pro league, but I talked to him and he's still, are you seeing this? Yeah. He's still,
Oh wow.
yeah, he still loves competing with the IVB on the other side with Rafael. He feels that
Wow.
um, so let me show you. I got everything set up here. This is him. The guy has a fantastic physique.
Wow.
He's like a miniature Dexter with a bit of flex. Yeah, I knew you would. I knew you would like this.
There's a guy. There's also another guy in America. I think he's going from classic to open.
Yeah,
He reminds me of with these round, full. Look at
yeah.
his calves.
Yeah. Now, please note, um, in Russia, this is in Russia, he can wear the posing trunks. When you compete in Furia, many people get confused in comments. The male bodybuilders cannot wear posing trunks like this because of, the religion and things like
Oh,
that.
so then what do they wear more
They
like?
wear the classic pants, the
Oh,
classic.
okay.
That people
Okay.
get confused. They keep
Yeah,
telling
that
me,
would be confusing.
yeah, they keep telling me he's not a classic bodybuilder, but no, it's the laws of the country, and you have to
Look at
respect their laws.
look at his legs,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, he's huge.
This guy has zero weaknesses.
No, I'm telling you, and he's so nice. I was talking to him today. I said, "This, I'm gonna do a small feature on you," and he sent me a bunch of photos. Then. So
Does
and
he
I
speak
asked
English?
him, yeah,
Does he speak? Should put
sorry,
him on, get him on the show.
yeah, 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 yeah. So this is him.
Look
This
at
is him
that
in
physique.
Yeah, this is him in Russia. Look at him. See, this is for you see the pants?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
that would be confusing.
yeah,
I wouldn't realize that. I'd be like, this guy,
yeah,
I'd
but
be
that's
looking
why
at
I
him
wanted
going,
to
this
put
guy's
it out.
classic.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I wanted to put it out there. The guy is incredible.
He really is.
Oh,
He could do some serious damage.
I can see him in the maybe 212. I don't know his weight exactly.
He looks like he'd maybe, if he was in the 212, he'd be up there fighting
Yeah,
with
yeah. The
the top
guy,
guys for sure.
yeah, he has muscles on his face. Look at his jaws.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's a true mesomorph. That's somebody who's born to body with muscles on his jaw.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's incredible. He's
Yeah,
really,
he
and I,
reminds me of a lot of guys. He reminds me a little bit of Silvio Samuel.
yeah, yeah,
He reminds me of Dexter, a little flex.
yeah. So
He's that is a
I wanted to bring him up, and I'm not. I don't want people to come across me saying, I love bodybuilding. The Pro League has obviously the cream of the crop, all right? But there are bodybuilders on the other side of the fence that are happy competing, and this guy does have competition. I mean, I forgot to ask him if he's going to do the World Championships this year, the Pro World Championships, which is the equivalent of the Olympia for the other Pro League. All right. He will be going up against a guy named Mika. He's the defending champion. He took over the reign after Crizio went over to the Pro League.
yeah.
This guy Mika. One day we'll talk about him as well. He's another. I mean, if we're talking about, I can just bring him up really quick. You can. I can. He's the reigning world champion. He's not a true heavyweight, but his physique is incredible, Eric.
That guy's physique was incredible right
Yeah,
there.
this guy, um, Mika is the reigning. This guy has an amazing
He almost looks
story.
like Rizzo.
Yeah, he's like he can. There was one year where I thought he beat Crizzo, but you
Wow,
know,
look at those
yeah,
glutes.
yeah, he's huge. He's huge. Like this year he was this year last year he was really
He really
emotional.
reminds me of a slightly less thick Rizzo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's from Finland. He's really bad. He has he came back from cancer. He had tongue cancer. Can you imagine? He
Oh
had
my.
a he had a major leg injury. He had
Would not know because his legs are great.
yeah, he no, recently he had to battle
Oh,
tongue cancer, and he came
wow.
back and defended his title
He's a warrior.
in the same year. Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I really like his physique. He's got great
Yeah.
lines. He's got
Yeah.
tiny little.
So
He's got a small waist.
yeah, like I
His,
said, I
le his
love.
legs actually might be a little ahead of his upper body,
Yeah,
believe it or
yeah,
not.
he's huge. He has huge legs, huge legs. Like
And his
I mean,
glutes.
I don't want to stay, on these all episode, but
Yeah, but that's another great guy. Yeah.
yeah, that's like
Look at
I
that front
mean,
double bicep,
look at
man.
that, look at that. Yeah, no, and he's very humble guy as well. I've met him many times. This
Well,
is
it's
when
cool seeing guys that most of us don't know
yeah,
because I don't know these guys.
yeah, this is when he won the
Getting
Arnold
to see them.
Classic because what happened was when the Arnold there was like an indication that the Arnolds were leaving in Europe as well, the one of Rafael. Rafael, instead of calling it, there would be the Arnold Classic, but the men's bodybuilding would be called the World Championships. So he slightly, there was already like this year, there's no Arnold Classic in Europe. After 15 or 14 years, they decided to go their separate ways as well. So it's only in Britain, in the UK with the NPC. But this year they're calling it the World Cup, so I'll be there in September. So we'll see what's happening.
Nice.
No, there's. I just want to say there are still a lot of great bodybuilders. I mean, Crizio wasn't the last guy that left, or Rubel, and it's dead afterwards. There are a lot of
Oh,
fantastic
I
athletes.
mean, you're still
You know,
talking about elite
yeah,
bodybuilders, no matter
and
what.
and you have to remember from before the split, from the beginning of the Weeders. Europe, the IFBB in Europe was a feeder to the Pro League. Remember the World Championships, Lee Haney, Labrada, one winner would get the pro card and compete. So
Yeah.
it's like they still do it, but they do it, you have to like break ties with one federation and go with another. So,
Yeah, you're gonna make that choice.
and I asked them, I said, do you have any plans? And no, they say, I'm happy here. I mean, it's still challenging, so
Some of them, listen, some people are gonna say they're happy, and some
yeah,
people are gonna still say
yeah,
the ultimate league is in the IFBB
yeah,
Pro League,
yeah, yeah,
and the Mr.
yeah.
Olympia is the ultimate title, and
Yeah.
that is what I want more than anything else. And
And some
everybody
guys,
makes their own choice.
they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. They have sponsors, they're happy with them, they're
Yeah.
making a living. So they say, why should I go that extra mile to to go take
They
that.
have to decide what's important to them and
Yeah,
they make a
yeah.
decision,
And
but it's
family,
all bodybuilding and all the
not
sport.
easy. Yeah, it's not
It's
easy.
not easy
Like,
making those decisions, but there are incredible bodybuilders everywhere that we don't even know. And
yeah.
even just quick aside, I mean, you haven't even mentioned to me that, with how much trouble Iranian bodybuilders have been coming over here, that Hadi's won. But there are a lot of Hadi-like guys in Iran who we've never
Go
even seen before.
come to
Freaks,
the
you know?
come to the World Championships of the IFBB, the World Amateur Championships. It's still going on. It's like, I don't know, the 50th, the 60th edition or more. Um, Come to that and you see the lineup of Iranians.
Yeah,
It blows your mind. You're looking from a lineup of 50 guys, you're going to see 20 Hadi Chupans.
yeah,
Because they have no other, that is the only place where they can compete. So that's where they go, representing their country. Because, like I said, you can't go as an individual athlete. You have to represent your country at these events. So, they're all proud of, their country and things like that. So, Hadi used to competed at the world champion. He won many times. So, but he turned pro before there was that split and stuff. So,
well, you know what? It's just like I remember when Dorian Yates, I mean,
yeah,
he's from Great Britain.
yeah.
Nobody knew who Dorian Yates was. I
Nope.
mean, he was just, bodybuilding over there and doing his
He
thing.
came to the
I
UK
remember
BFF. Yeah,
I
yeah,
had no idea who he was. I remember I was at the Night of Champions in New York at the Beacon Theater when it was still Night of Champions.
yeah,
I was with a couple of friends of mine, and that was the year Mohammed Benaziz actually won. But
yeah,
Dorian showed up on stage, and our jaws just dropped.
yeah,
We were like, who is this freak of nature?
yeah,
Like the whole, I mean, he was definitely the audience favorite because
yeah.
New Yorkers like hardcore muscle, man. And he walked on stage and we'd never seen anything
Yeah.
like it. I mean, and I don't know, it's like that's why they call him the shadow. But I mean, there's these bodybuilders who just
Yeah.
you might show up and just you
Yeah.
might just go, what is this?
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
one of them.
Yep. Flex Lewis came up through those ranks as well with the UK
And
BFF. He came to
yeah,
Malta many times, and when he was still an amateur, I think he competed with Naba as well. Uh, he had that physique. He just had to wait. We had to wait for somebody to, you know, to push him that extra take to get that extra step to, and what's his name with his lifelong coach, um God, I just watched the whole interview with him this week. I'm really bad with names.
boy, your memory's gone, my friend.
His coach, what's Flex's coach's name? Come on, you go to his gym.
Oh, Neil Hill?
Neil Hill. Yeah, Neil Hill. I'm really bad with names. I hope I'm not losing
No,
it.
I'm the same way. You could tell me a name and I'll forget it
I'll,
three
I'll
minutes later.
remember it right afterwards, but on the show, I'll be thinking of so many things.
But
Neil
it's
Hill.
just, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you don't know what nature is cooking up here
Yeah,
and there all
yeah,
over the world.
yeah, yeah,
What freak is being formed over here or there? We don't know what we might see.
yeah,
Will we ever see like another Ronnie Coleman
yeah,
again?
yeah,
Probably at some point.
yeah. But like I said, there are thousands of bodybuilders that are capable. It's just that either they run out of gas or, like I said, family, money, their job. It's not easy,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
These
not easy
people
for
work
them.
full time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
You can, yeah, because you can't make it's very hard to make a living off of bodybuilding.
That's the thing. So then you get those guys that just black out everybody and they focus on it, and those guys might take that extra step. So
Yeah.
like I said, so that was my that guy of the week.
That was a
His
good one because I that was a great
Yeah, his name
yeah,
is
that was
Bodebi Davo Indukuru. I prefer to call
so
him
what's his
Destiny.
country of origin?
I think he lives in the Arab states. The Arab He lives somewhere there.
Okay. Well,
Um,
it doesn't have to be. I'm just curious because
No, no, he's on that side.
hats off to him, man. He
He
looks
trains at
amazing.
that Olympia gym. There's a gym called Olympia Gym somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah.
trains there. And I think, like I said, many guys try to get him to switch over. But, I asked him again today, and he said, listen,
He's happy.
I'm happy. I don't
He's
want
happy.
to,
He's happy.
he said, I'm really happy where I am. And he has a good sponsor. And, it is what it is. And, I'm not, you're happy, you compete well. And, you know, uh,
Look, he's
Everybody,
doing what he loves and he's making a good living
yeah,
from
and
it.
he's always
What more can you
happy.
ask for?
He's always happy. He's not, he's just loving it, So, anyways, that's my featured athlete. I mean, I think we can maybe get him on the show, one day and just talk about bodybuilding and ask
Sure.
him, how he started and that, God, that
Yeah, why
physique,
not? I'd be
and
interested in talking to him.
how he trains and things like that. So moving on, we have Texas, right?
Texas Pro, yeah. That was a
Yeah,
few weeks ago, right?
last weekend.
Was it last weekend? Oh, I thought it was a couple weeks ago.
No, I think it was last weekend. I think it was last weekend. Let me just get the MPC up. Uh,
Was there open men's bodybuilding there? There was, right?
yeah. So let's get the results. So let me go back here. So Tokyo, Texas Pro. Yeah, it was last weekend.
Okay.
So
I lose track of the weeks.
yeah, I know there's so many events, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So Jordan won.
Oh, he won handily.
Yeah, 3 points. So maybe there was five judges, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, look at that. Quentin was actually in second after the prejudge, and then he
Yeah,
dropped.
and then he fell to third. Yeah.
Poor Patrick Moore. He got ninth. He can't quite get back up to that.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick has an amazing physique.
He does. He
It's,
does.
but I don't know, I'm gonna sound stupid. When he turns to the side, he doesn't have the thickness of the other guys.
That's his problem. He literally, it's almost like I
Yeah.
know he hates to hear it, but I almost feel like he should be classic. I mean, he's got the classic lines, and maybe he would be shredded as a classic. I don't know, but
You think
you
so?
know, I think it's
Yeah, while we're
possible.
talking about it, might as
He just
well.
needs a lot more size,
Yeah.
Patrick, and I don't know how he's going to quite get it. He's not young anymore. I mean, it's not like
Um,
he's in his 20s and he's growing. I mean, he's an older guy,
I
not
don't know.
old,
I don't
older
know.
guy.
He put up this picture a day ago. Let me see, just make sure. Let me see. I don't know if this was recent. Uh, here's no, that's Tampa. So,
I mean, he
uh,
did get second place at a show recently,
yeah,
but wasn't a
yeah,
very deep lineup.
uh, yeah. This is Texas Pro. Okay, let me just say. Sorry, guys, but I just don't want to stay clicking around, And so this is in Texas.
But you see, though, he's not hard enough.
Yeah,
He's not, there's no striations in the chest. He looks a little smooth. To me, like there, he looks to me like 6 weeks out. Um, his structure is beautiful. His lines are beautiful. He's got a lot of potential, but I don't think he's hitting the mark. And he needs more. He needs more thickness. But I mean, he's got one of the night. I mean, anybody who loves bodybuilding and loves, the V taper, I mean, would want to walk
yeah,
around looking like him.
yeah,
He's got pretty good striations in the glutes,
yeah. No, it's. I mean, like I
but
said, we're seeing it on video, right?
but there's
And
like a film of water over him. He's not
yeah, yeah,
sharp, sharp. Like to me, he looks like he's. I mean, like I look at Keon, at 9 weeks out, and he's
yeah,
way harder than that
yeah,
right now.
yeah. I think he was better in Tampa.
He looks a little sharper in Tampa.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'd like to say that he's got tremendous potential, but I don't know if he's going to fulfill it or not because
yeah,
he's got a great structure.
yeah. So,
But anyway, we really wanted to talk about Quentin.
yeah, yeah. So Jordan Hutchinson.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
killed it.
he won it. He took it home. Let's
He won it pretty easily, so he'll go to the
yeah,
Olympia.
yeah, he'll be there. So uh so he's comparing his shots from last year and this year in this So he's comparing Texas to last year and this year. So the one on the left is last year, where it's the busy background, and this is this year, where he's number 126. Um,
I
he
mean,
gained more size.
I could see he's definitely a little bigger.
Yeah, he might have
His
lost
conditioning,
some detail a bit.
it
I
could be the
do.
lighting though. It could be the
Could
lighting.
be
It's
the
hard to say.
color and the light, but
Yeah.
he has gained a lot of size, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he's made some progress. He looks like he's gotten a little bit
Yeah,
bigger,
yeah.
thicker. But conditioning probably about similar.
It could be he's been competing quite a bit this year, so he might be a bit tired now. He probably has to shut down everything. And listen, the Olympia is only what, 2 months away?
It's
So
8 weeks, I think.
yeah, so these guys, they have to, start thinking. Yeah. So then Joseph Palacios plays second. Let me get him up. Uh, Joseph Palacios.
That's
Life.
like that guy got second or
Yeah,
third, second,
I have to
right
find
ahead.
it. I don't know where he is. No, this guy's a men's physique. I don't know how he um let me see. Uh yeah, this is
This
the
is
guy.
guerrilla warfare here. We're just here, just trying to find what we need to
Yeah,
find.
yeah, yeah. That's podcasting. Here he
Yep.
is. Oh God. Somebody's asking me questions, I think. Let's see if there's any pictures of him on stage.
Well, there's a bunch on stage. I don't know if it's Texas though.
This is video. Yeah, this is Texas. So you
I
have
mean, in
the
that
first,
side
second,
shot,
third. Yeah, first, second, third. Yeah.
he looks
Listen, he
great in that
looks,
side shot right there.
yeah, huge legs. And look at his face. He has that diet face.
Yeah, he's pretty
The
packed with muscle. He's in condition.
Yeah, face of death. Look at that. He has that, the cheekbones are
Yeah,
sticking up.
the sunken in cheeks.
Yeah. No,
Looks like he's a little bit boxy in his
yeah.
structure.
But I'm telling you,
Uh,
he's conditioned.
he looks great though. I mean, he
Dense.
look
Yeah, look at
maybe a little
that.
bigger legs. He's definitely a
You know, I-
formidable.
you know, if he plays first, I wouldn't have complained.
I think that he's a little bit boxy, and I
Yeah,
think
he
that's
is. He
what
is.
kept
He is.
him. His
Yeah.
conditioning is equal. Um, his muscle size is certainly there,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
that he's just a little boxy looking, which probably put him in
Yeah.
second.
And obviously, then we have our friend Quinton that we are hoping um, he gets his qualification. He's going to be coming to Europe to, he wants his qualification. So for
Why
the
not? I mean, he's right on the cusp, and he does have an Olympia level physique.
he has everybody pushing that he wins. He gets in. Listen, the guy has an incredible physique. I
He
said
has
it
an
last
incredible
week,
physique.
you know.
He still has some weaknesses, like
But
sort of similar to like you say a Patrick Moore,
yeah,
but he certainly has
yeah.
incredible potential.
I mean, I think he has potential. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 8 or top 9, but
No, but he'll deserve to be on stage if he makes
yeah,
it to.
yeah. I mean, his chest, still looks like he still needs to either cut
He
down a bit or
he
either,
still needs to be harder.
yeah, yeah,
He's still holding some water. Even his glutes, you could see the lines, but it looks
yeah.
like they could be deeper. His back is hard but not shredded. His
Chest,
waistline is
yeah.
hard but not shredded. His quads, I think, are his best point right here.
He has to smile
They
a
are.
bit.
Yeah, it looks a little angry there. Like, don't
Yeah.
put me in third.
He said, I am quite disappointed in myself. That being said, here are the stage shots from the pre-judging. Thanks for your support. Listen,
I think that for him to make it to the Olympia this year, he needs to sharpen up, and that's all he can do because he's not going to build any new size.
yeah,
But then I think from after that period, he needs to put a lot more size on and
yeah.
try to keep that waist as tight as it is.
Do you think, I think he was better last at the Tampa.
Harder.
I think I think he expected to win here, you know. Uh
Great front double bicep.
yeah, he could be the
He's
light as well.
sharper. I mean, again, it's hard to tell with lighting, but he
Yeah,
looks sharper here.
he looks sharper here. But
And it could be, listen, some guys have a lot of trouble maintaining their peak
yeah,
show after show.
yeah.
Um, and some people don't. I guess it depends on, there's a bunch of factors that go into it.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it could be the lighting, but he definitely looks better here in this. He actually even looks fuller. Like
Yeah.
he looks rounder. Yeah, like he looks like he has less water
Yeah.
over the abs. He just looks sharper.
This is in Tampa, all right?
And look at
So
his chest, is very striated,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
nice.
In fact, this is what I featured last week. I said, look at this freak, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him get that qualification.
Yeah,
I think that he would be a good addition to the
yeah.
lineup, and I think that
Milos, yeah, Milos has been really pushing, for him. He wants to see him on the Olympia stage as well, because Milos is seeing something in him. When you hear him talk about him, you can tell, that
well,
he,
it's obvious what Milos sees. He sees a beautiful structure.
yeah,
He sees a
yeah,
small waist, which Milos loves.
yeah,
He's got great quads. He's got, great lats. So it's easy to see why people would be high on him,
yeah,
but he's got to put it all together.
yeah. We have to see. Hopefully,
But
we,
it's good when you see guys though that aren't quite there yet, but we could see them
yeah,
being in
yeah.
a few years a top six potential guy. It's nice when you see that because it eventually we want to start seeing some changing of the guard.
So if we're before we get on to the next thing, basically we can get it. We'll get into the Merlin part of the show. Um, Speaking about guys that they had potential, we can't forget Brandon Curry. He was always like fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 10th guy. People
Yes.
forgot about him. If he just did a little bit of that, or he got a bit bigger, or he got a bit, more definition, more dense, what happens? He goes to, the O2 gyms, he disappears, he comes back, wins an Arnold Classic or two, he wins the Olympia. All right. And I don't care what people say, Sean Roldan wasn't there, whatever. He was the best guy on the day. There was Roelly Winklaar. There was many guys that could have challenged him
Yeah.
that were in line to win it. But he
Yep.
came from the back and won it.
Yep.
They, they'll be
I
like,
saw him. I was at that show when he won the Olympia,
yeah,
and he looked
yeah.
amazing.
He still looks amazing.
I look, he's still in the top five in the world.
Yeah. And, he's not young and he's not, you know,
He's
I
early 40s.
I mean, how,
He's old enough to do the Masters.
yeah, he's 42.
He's
He's,
42.
he's
So I
going to be
mean,
43 in October,
so he'll be 43 by the time the Olympia comes.
Yeah. He
And
still has a good,
you're still not knocking him out of the
yeah.
top five.
Oh, you can. Yeah, yeah. So, from nowhere, he started placing, he was the number one bodybuilder, top five in the world, and just because he lost the Olympia and he maybe placed second, to Big Ramy and stuff, he didn't just say, screw it, I'm not going to win it again. He keeps going and he keeps going.
He
Um,
believes in himself. He still believes he's
you know,
it's kind of like Dexter. Dexter was like, as long as I'm at the top, I'm still gonna still go.
yeah, he's still beating guys half his age. So, when he sees himself moving down, he'll probably say, all right, now that's enough.
But you
I'm
know
not,
what? The funny thing is that you always hear about Hottie and Derek
yeah,
and
you never
Sam.
hear about
Yeah,
Brandon.
you never
Nothing.
hear Brandon's never talked about anymore.
He
And then
doesn't.
he goes on stage and he's placing fourth or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm a fan of Brandon. I met him a number of times at expos, and he takes the time to speak to you.
Yeah, I met
And
him at Gold's Gym. It was very
yeah,
nice.
and you know, he's even when he's he won the Olympia when there was the pandemic. So he still tried his best to promote the Olympia. And I think my favorite moment of recent years for an Olympia winner is he's going to his children's football practice
Yes.
American football.
Yes.
And he takes out the Olympia, the Sando Trophy, and he's telling him what it means and how
Yep.
he got there, you
Yep.
know. And I share it a number of times, uh, that footage. I still think it's one of the best representations of the Olympia that there could be, showing children. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding. It could be school, it could be sports, it could be life. To get this, it's not, you have to lose more than you win to get that title. And
Right.
Brandon talking to the children like that and saying what it means for me, I mean, you know, screw the pandemic. They destroyed his campaign as a Mr. Olympia. I really feel bad for him, but that small moment for me made up for everything. Uh,
I think that's what anyone bodybuilding, and whoever is at the top of their sport,
yeah,
that's the kind of things you like to see because it's
yeah.
not it's a lesson in life. It's not a
That's
lesson
the
in
thing.
necessarily
Yeah,
that sport.
yeah,
No matter what it is that you're trying to pursue, if you want to be any sport player, or if you want
yeah,
to be a doctor, or if you want to be a lawyer, whatever it is you want to be,
yeah,
to make it to that level, that type of conversation is what people need
yeah,
to hear, what
yeah,
kids need to
and
hear.
yeah, and he won it. He's down in history as a Mr. Olympia, so nobody can take it away from him. You
He
win
will always be
one,
Mr. Olympia.
yeah, you win one, you win seven, you're still a Mr. Olympia.
Samir Banu won it in
Yeah,
1983,
and
and we
he's
still
still,
hear Mr. Olympia.
yeah, he's still shoving it down the throats of people.
He is still Mr. He can always say, I
Yeah,
am Mr.
I
Olympia,
am
like,
Mr. Olympia, and
yeah,
and Brandon
can't
Curry
take
can
it away.
say it, and anybody can say it. These guys. Phil Heath, number seven. Arnold seven.
Listen, if you won it once, you've won. At one time, you were considered the best bodybuilder on the planet Earth.
Yeah, yeah,
And that means you achieved something that's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I mean, could you imagine being the best at whatever it is that you do?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the best
That's
baseball
the
player.
thing.
I'm the best, considered the
Yeah,
best surgeon. I'm considered the
yeah,
best artist. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's incredible considering, think about how many people are in the gym lifting weights and trying to compete. Millions,
Millions.
millions upon millions.
He's the number one.
And you're number one.
And that long career to get there. Many
And
guys.
yeah, still look at him now. It's
Yeah,
amazing how he's still up there.
yeah, yeah.
Dangerous.
Many guys, but we still have a bit of time. Uh, while we're talking about Brandon, things that come up uh, on the spur of it. We weren't even planning on talking about Brandon, but it like
Well,
fits.
this is what our show's about.
It
We
fit.
get
It
off on tangents.
it fits into the you know into the subject that we're talking about. So let me share the screen of Brandon. So we have Brandon, 2004, right? We're at 2025 now. So that's 20 years ago.
Okay, 21 years he's going to
Yeah,
be doing
21.
it.
He becomes the overall winner in 2008. Look how many all right, he was going at the junior national second, second, second. Finally, he kicks ass in 2008. Then he turns pro, 8th, 6th, 10th, 8th, keeps going down. He gets third in Toronto. Arnold Classic 2012 did not place. Then 7th, 8th, you know, 6th. He goes to the Arnold Classic Brazil in 13, wins. 8th
But
in
that
Europe,
doesn't place at the Olympia.
he doesn't place at the Olympia. And he goes to the Arnold Classic in 14, 8th. Then 15th, he competed, huh? 7th, 5th at the Arnold, Australia, 5th Brazil, 9th Europe. Then these other shows, Diana Cadu, 6th. Olympia did not place. Okay. That's the second time.
Still no pro wins.
No, no pro. No, he did
Oh,
win
finally,
pro.
Toronto
He
pro. He
won
finally
Toronto
won.
and he
Only
won
one
Brazil
class. Okay, so he had
2000
those two.
and those two, right? So
Yep.
16, third in Asia. There was the Arnold Asia. 13th in Europe. 7th at the South Africa. 3rd at the Chicago Pro. Golden State 8th. 11th in Kuwait.
It's
Olympia.
amazing because his placings would vacillate. Like he'd be
Yeah.
at third and then 13th and then seventh and then third. He's
Olympia.
up and down.
Olympia did not place. That's another one. 3,
Yep.
right? So
So
guys would just walk away from the sport, you know.
no,
Now it could be from 20th, you maybe went to 18th and then 16th or whatever. All right. Um, 2017, he wins the Arnold Australia, Fringo Classic, Fringo Legacy. So he starts saying his physique, it's like, hey, I'm still here, and he gets eighth at the Olympia. So from no place, he goes to eighth. So it's like a guy would say, wow, I hit eighth. That's it. The next year, he places fifth.
yeah,
Because,
now he's top five in the world.
yeah, 19, he wins the Arnold Classic and he wins the Olympia. Bang. There you
Big
go.
year. That's a rare occurrence.
Yeah. 2020, he came second. 2022, he wins the Arnold again. And then
Yeah.
he doesn't have 23, 24. Obviously, he competed at the Olympia and he
But he
placed.
stayed I think in 23 and 24, he was top five both
Yeah, he
times.
was top five. Yeah, and he had a bad stomach, not last year, the
Correct.
year before.
Yep. And he still plays top five.
Yeah. And one thing about Brandon, I like the way he comes to shows in those suits, typical the 90s thing, with the big
Yeah.
bags and the nice.
Yeah. He likes to show up. He likes to
Yeah,
show up.
yeah. I'm a fan of Brandon.
Me
I
too.
really hope
Me
he
too.
does well. Uh,
I
this
hope he stays in the top five. I hope
Yeah,
he
I,
does.
I really hope he keeps kicking butt, showing the younger guys, listen, this is how you do it. Because his skin, it's the legs are still there. He gets criticized from the front, but then when he turns to the side, his hamstring just falls out.
I know he had listen, people are always going to criticize that he doesn't have
Yeah,
the best quads and the biggest
yeah.
leg, but you can't argue that he has one of the best upper bodies
No,
ever.
that's the thing. It's
He
just
has some poses that he does
yeah,
frontal bicep,
yeah,
side chest,
yeah.
some shots that are just hard, untouchable by a
Yeah.
few, by but a few.
So
So
that
he's
that's some of the things I love about the sport, and so and even you send him a message, he answers you. Okay, he might not be
let's
there
get
and then.
Brandon on the show. Let's get Brandon on the show.
Yeah,
I want
I have to
Brandon.
ask him. I have to ask him,
He'd come on. He'd probably
or
come on.
we'll ask him. Now we have Merlin.
We do, which is me.
Yeah, I don't know if people noticed that Merlin AI thing I put on social media this week.
Yeah, I don't know if they saw that. Oh my God, look what's happening.
Look at him.
What is going on here?
There he
Trying
is.
to steal the show.
Yeah.
Mini Merlin,
Yeah, he's
get away.
not this. Yeah.
Stay over there.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Um,
likes to take all credit for my words.
yeah, yeah. In fact, you we were gonna bring this up as a topic, but I said that's a good thing for Merlin. Um,
Yes, because I get it all the time.
yeah.
So,
Why do so many competitors look better after the show?
so let me expand on it a little bit. And it actually even happened with my amazing client, Roshana. So she did the Masters Olympia. She placed fourth, best ever condition. And then after the show was over, she went out. She had ice cream sundae.
A
She
burger.
had some junk, whatever, had a junk stuff completely off the diet.
Yeah,
Probably was drinking water like crazy, whatever. Who, no thought.
yeah,
She wakes up the next day. She sends me a video. She goes, Coach, look at me.
yeah,
And she looked as good, if not even tighter.
yeah,
And she's like, I don't understand. Now, and I have heard this so many times where people go out the night of a show, they eat pizza, they eat garbage, and then they wake up the next day and they go, oh, why didn't I look like this on the day of the show?
yeah,
So sometimes, okay, so 50% of the time, I could say I agree with them, where I could see where somebody might look better because they're maybe more full, maybe they're more vascular. Sometimes I think people are seeing things, they don't realize they're holding a bunch of water, even though they're fuller.
yeah,
They might look a little more freaky, but they're not so dry but this is what I explained to Rashana about it. So it's something that I want to explain to everybody about this. When you are the night before a show And that some people will have a cheat meal, and I'll even give a lot of some of my clients like a maybe like a burger and fries, something that's a little bit off to help fill them out.
Yeah.
Sometimes the morning of the show, it could be like some pancakes with eggs. So yes, we do use sometimes a little junk stuff to help fill you out, but not, I don't believe in doing it excessively because, of what could happen. You could spill
Yeah.
over and hold water and ruin your condition. So you have to be conservative. So a lot of people like, well, maybe I should just eat a whole bunch of junk and,
Yeah.
the day before, da, da, da. But what people don't understand is the body and the mind is in a completely different state
Yeah.
day before and the day of a show than it is when the show is over. Food is going to hit your body completely differently
Yeah.
when you have stress on your mind versus when you have no stress.
Exactly.
So if you eat a bunch of junk food the night before a show, I don't care how chill you are. Some people get very nervous before
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
Some people don't feel nervous, but they feel stressed. But when you're in that state of mind, your body is going to take junk food, a lot of it, and you're going to end up with all the stress hormones that are running around your body.
Yeah.
You're going to end up spilling all over. You're going to hold water. You're going to film over. You're probably not going to react well to it. But when the show is over, you put everything's done. You're like so happy with your friends, you're with your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah. Yeah.
The show's over no matter where you're placed. And you eat that junk food meal and you have nothing on your mind except happiness and joy that it's over and
Yeah.
relaxation,
Yeah.
the food will hit you just right. So that is why I tell people don't try to, and I have had not my own clients, but I have had some people come to me and I've had this conversation with them, and they're so sure they look better the day after the show. I go, okay, next time you compete, go eat a bunch of junk. I mean,
Yeah.
the day before the show, if you're so convinced, and
Yeah.
see what happens. I mean, that's the only way you're going to know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yep.
I've had people do it and come back to me and go, nope, did not work. I looked like crap. That I held a ton of water.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. It's
Yeah.
all the state of mind that you're in and the state, therefore, what your body is in, that the way the food is going to hit you. And that's why eating crazy junk the day before a show does not work.
Can,
So go
can
ahead.
I just add this? Maybe
Yes.
it has the same thing to do about, the Olympia back in the day. I don't know if they still do it now. I think there was Pearl Burnham used to take the photos,
Parabennal.
Pearl Burnell,
Yeah.
and he had that set up, everything, the lights and everything.
It was
After the
fantastic.
show, now I don't know if it was after they have their pizza, they had that whole thing of pizza and Gatorade and all that stuff. You would see Milos taking photos. You would see Jay Cutler taking photos. I don't know if it's an hour after or 2 hours after while they're eating or whatever, but it's like they look bloody better than they were on stage. Could it be it's that fast that their body can change after like an hour or something, even if they have a
Well,
slight.
the thing is that yes, the thing is two things. First of all, you have to remember that Pear is going to set the lighting so it's
Yes,
going to
yes,
be
it's gonna be
literally
perfect.
perfect.
Yes, yes,
He
yes.
knows exactly how to create shadows and whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is
But
one huge consideration.
yeah,
However, when you eat junk food, generally, you'll get the positive effects from it. When I say positive, the vascularity and the
yeah,
fullness.
immediately.
Immediately, the
Yeah,
negative effects don't come till a while later. And
yeah,
I'm sure he had them in front of the
yeah,
camera
yeah,
within an hour or two after the
yeah,
show.
yeah,
But if it was the next morning, it might be a slightly different story, or it
yeah,
may not because the lighting will be so perfect. But
yeah,
again, because it's going to still have that effect when the show is over and all that stress is gone,
yeah,
your body's in such a happy state that you eat some junk food and your body absorbs all of the sugars and the
yeah,
fats
yeah,
and the sodium and puts it right into the muscle, and it doesn't really have the stress hormone, so you're not going to
yeah,
really get. Now, if you kept on eating junk food all, let's say the show is Saturday, you have junk food Saturday night, then Sunday you wake up, you have junk food, and then you have lunch junk food. By Sunday night, you're going to start holding a bunch of water.
yeah.
That's going to happen because it's
And
not going to hold off for that long. But that is the reason why people look better the day after the show, but why it does not work to do that the night before a show.
yeah, and it could be as well back in the day when they did that European tour. Some guys took it. It's like some guys maybe during the Olympia they were really nervous, right? They want to win, they play second, third, or whatever. That they get that out of their system and they start touring Europe. Some guys actually look better than when they were at the Olympia. They peaked, 2 or 3 days afterwards, and they would win those shows. And guys that beat them at the Olympia can't beat them, on the tour. It could be like you said, some guys just, they relax and it's done, it's over and done with, and
Yes, I might not have felt such pressure on the European tour. They felt the Olympia was the big pressure.
exactly, exactly.
So that can happen too. But you even remember like what who was saying it was a Tom, either Tom or Rich.
Yeah, yeah,
We had them on. Rich was saying me and Labrada kept on our diets 100%, and
yeah,
that's why we're
yeah,
trading wins.
yeah,
He goes, the
yeah,
rest of the guys started fading right away because
yeah,
they're eating
yeah,
junk.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, you still have to follow your plan. But another thing I want to say, because I know there might be some people out there going, who disagree with me. Like, first of all, there might be anomalies out there. There might be people out there who
yeah,
can eat a bunch of junk and
yeah,
they're super cool before a show that nothing
yeah,
gets to them at all. And maybe it does work for them. And I'm not going
yeah.
to argue with them. If it does work for you, I'm
Everybody
talking
is,
about more the broad
yeah,
stroke general
yeah.
thing.
Not,
However, also the
yeah,
other thing, Kevin, is that some people undercarb for a show
yeah,
or they don't fill out enough. It even happens to the pros. We see it happen to the pros. Sometimes they don't fill out enough and they look a little flat on stage
yeah,
compared to what we're seeing them the weeks
yeah,
before.
yeah,
And in those cases, of course, having a little junk food is going to help because you're already under carb.
yeah,
I'm talking about more about if you have like Rashana had a really good peak, Candace had a really good peak for the shows. I made sure they had enough carbs. They came in full, they came in vascular, they came in dry. So I know they weren't under carb, but obviously you can under carb and then a little junk food. If you're under carb and you wake up Saturday morning and you are flat as a board and you
yeah,
have no veins on your body,
yeah,
I would recommend getting some pancakes, bacon, eggs, getting
yeah,
some sodium, fats,
yeah,
and carbs into your system
yeah,
early
yeah,
so you can process it and it'll help you fill out. So in those cases, you can make those adjustments. But I'm talking about just as a general rule,
yeah,
a good peak versus what the people sometimes see the day after the show all has to do with your levels of stress the night before a show. Because I don't care. I competed. I don't know how many shows that I've done. I was just as nervous for every one of them.
of
Like I
course
would
you are.
be
Yeah,
nervous,
yeah,
not nervous like a first timer who doesn't know what they're going to do on stage.
yeah,
Or,
yeah,
what do I do? I'm not sure. More just nervous, like because I wanted to win, so I had that
yeah,
stress. I'd think to myself, like, am I looking good? What am I gonna, how am I gonna do in the show? I put such pressure on myself, which is the case with a lot of athletes. I know Rashana puts tremendous pressure on herself. She wants to win every show so badly. She wants to do everything right, and that creates stress.
and that's how it
And like
should
I
be.
said,
Yeah,
yeah, food, water, sodium,
yeah,
everything is going to hit you completely different when you're stressed out versus not stressed out.
it's true.
100%.
It's true. You know, not even, every diet is different. If a bodybuilder does 3 diets in the year, each one affects them differently. It's never the same. I mean, my friend, one of my friends competed for a good 10, 11 years. And he told me every time he did a diet, if he did the same one, it would affect his body differently. The body changes, it adapts.
100%. I don't think that I've ever given a client of mine the same diet show to show.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if there's 2 weeks between shows,
Oh, yeah.
we just kind of repeat them.
Yeah.
But if somebody does a show, say in April, and the next show is in November, the
Yeah.
diets are going to be somewhat different
Yeah.
because I could just see the way their body's reacting and how
Yeah.
I have to adjust. And any good coach is going to, of course, do that. But
Yeah.
yes, our body changes, obviously, with age,
Yeah.
time of year, how many times you've competed. There's
Yeah.
so many, stress levels that say April, your job is pretty calm.
Yeah.
Say later in the year, your job is crazy. Different, different. So I mean, it could change, and that's all part of being a coach
Yeah.
and being able to see what's going on and know what's going on. But for sure, year to year,
Yeah.
one year you could maybe diet and get shredded on 400 grams of carbs. The next year you can only get 200 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it changes a lot
The
as
body's
time
changing.
goes by.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyways, that was I mean that the subject, I mean we can talk about it even while we're talking about shows. Like we can bring up a picture of a bodybuilder the day after, they might take some photos. It would be nice if some athletes, take a photo the day or 2 days afterwards to see how
Yeah,
they look. And they say, listen, I ate this, I did this, and
yeah.
You know,
But it's
this,
just such a common thing. I don't know how many times I've experienced it myself. I know that I've done shows
yeah,
and I'll go on stage, and even if I won the show, and then at night I'm all happy and I'm sitting there and I'm eating burgers and this and that, and I wake up the next day and I look in the mirror and I go, "Holy crap! I didn't have all those cross veins on
yeah,
my chest."
yeah,
But I was also able to go, but you know what? The separation of my quads isn't quite the
yeah,
same.
yeah,
You know, my glutes are not quite as strided. Like I could see that. So you have to get past that like freaky, full
yeah,
looking stuff,
yeah, yeah,
you know, almost like a pump you have in the gym
yeah,
versus, not. So there's a lot of factors involved, but I really wanted to explain to people because some people don't. Because even Rashana, when I said that to her, and she's a seasoned, I mean, girl's
yeah,
been a pro for a long
yeah,
time.
yeah,
She said to me, "You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Makes a lot." She's like, because that night, the show, she was like having the best time. She was out with her friends. They were in
yeah.
Tokyo. They were eating, joyful. The day before the show, like, nervous, stressed. But she's like, makes a lot of sense. Makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense. And, it does.
yeah. So that's it for, I mean, you have anything else you want to bring up for this week?
Last thing I'm going to bring up, which is a little inside information, that I saw Regan Grimes in the gym yesterday for
Wow.
the first time in a while. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah,
Went
he's
up to
been on
Japan, gave him
under
a
the
hug.
radar for a bit.
Yeah, I love Regan. Great. I asked him, he looked
Yeah.
huge. He looked great. I said to him, what are you weighing now? He says somewhere around the high 270s, like 278. He said he's in line for the Olympia. He can't wait to go. But he also told me that he's doing France before the Olympia. He's doing a show in France.
To qualify for next year.
Correct. I said to him, why would you do that to interrupt? And he said, I'd like to get an early qualification for next year.
Yeah.
Um, but Regan, let me tell you guys out there,
This is an
uh,
hour ago.
dude, look at this guy. This is 280 pounds of hard muscle.
Yeah.
Has he been at his best yet? No.
No.
Does he still have more to learn about peaking? Yes. But he definitely has one of the greatest potentials, in my
Yeah.
opinion, of any
He's
open bodybuilder on the planet right now.
he's going to
And
compete, right, at the Olympia, right?
he says he's doing it. Yeah.
So,
Um,
so
and
that's
he also is one of the nicest, sweetest, most
yeah.
humble guys. Like, if you ever see him somewhere and you're like, you're not
He's
the kind of person who
Canadian.
looks up,
He's
huh?
Canadian. You have to be nice.
Yeah, yeah, true. But I mean, he's just such a nice guy. Like, go take a picture with him, go talk to him. He's so like just a regular
Laid
guy, and
back. Yeah. Yeah.
he's awesome. But yeah, he's definitely doing the Olympia and he's doing France as well.
Yeah.
There he is in my gym. There he is. He's
Yeah.
posing in the Dragon's Lair in
Look, I
the
think
famous posing room.
he started his Olympia prep. That's why he said no more games today on his
Oh,
post.
was this just posted?
This was yesterday.
Okay, yeah, this is when I saw him. So he
Yeah.
must have just gotten out of the posing room.
And this is an hour ago, and he said no more games. So
Yeah. I mean, he looks pretty damn good right there.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, he's full and thick, and he's got his abs in, his quads are separated. He's going to be, I don't think he's ready for the top six yet. I think he's ready for the top eight.
listen, if he gets the condition right, you never know.
Oh, but could he surprise everybody? 100%.
This
He
is
could surprise
16 hours
everybody and end up
ago.
in the top five.
Yeah, this is 16 hours ago.
Yeah.
He's working with that guy. Is this guy Dom Super Sliced?
I think that's
Yeah,
him.
it is. Yeah,
Yep. And Dom is a very, very good
yeah.
coach.
He's working with him, I think. It
He's a
looks like.
very good coach.
Yeah,
A lot of respect for him. Um, he's very good at what he does,
yeah,
and he should be able to bring in Regan in top shape.
yeah. So and there's that
So that's just a
touching
little
thing.
bit, a little inside information.
Yeah. There's that touching thing that you talked about, remember?
A little bit, not he's just
Not
kind
as
of
much.
he's putting his fingers where he wants him to feel it.
Yeah, there you
What I
go.
do is a little bit more
Yeah.
complex, which I will talk more about in the future.
Yeah.
But yes, that he is trying to say, Regan, I want you to feel it right here.
No,
And
but
there's a funny picture of Regan with Sergio. Do you see that picture of Regan? Oh,
yeah,
that's in the leg room.
there
Look
no
at
this-
because
I
they're both
think,
here in Vegas. That's hilarious.
yeah. What the
I
hell
see
is he?
Sergio's been training at the Dragon's Lair a lot lately, so I've been
Yeah,
seeing more.
yeah,
Look at those. Can you imagine seeing those two giants walking around
yeah. Sergio
together?
is another one of these bodybuilders who just walk around like he doesn't train, relax. Some guys walk around really, opening up their lats and things like that.
No, Sergio's chill.
Yeah,
He's just
like Phil Heath.
chill.
When I met him in Malta, he's walking around like the guy, you know, you won't say he's 7-time Mr. Olympia. It's funny. Look at him, always joking around.
They're having fun. I mean, oh no, they really crashed.
Who the hell?
This guy with the Chiquita, he's taking away the
Oh,
pre-workout.
these
Look at that.
guys are crazy, man.
They're crazy. They're
Yeah,
fun. That's fun though.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
It's
so
good when
happy the
these.
two of them here in Vegas. There's so many amazing bodybuilders here in Vegas.
Yeah,
We have a great time.
I don't mind, showing this crap. This is three
Yeah,
days
that's
ago.
great
No,
posing room.
he's putting out
Oh,
the
and he's
footage.
working with a good friend of mine, Joey Belt, who
Okay.
he's a pro bodybuilder now, but he works with a lot of the guys just on posing. He helps them, especially with their mandatory
Yeah,
shots. He doesn't really do routines,
yeah.
but he's really, really good. Has a good eye for mandatory shots.
His back
And he
is
works.
there. Look at that thickness.
Oh, come on, his back's incredible.
Even his calves, he's got it.
No, he's got everything, man. This guy can be a top five guy.
He can win if he.
Eh, 4 years from now, once he's gotten everything really matured his physique, he's definitely a potential winner.
How old is he? He's not that old.
Got to be in his early 30s. Early, my guess. 31 or 2.
Find out. Reagan Grant.
Kevin on the spot.
Yeah.
They said there's Johnny on the spot, there's Kevin on the spot.
32.
32. Yeah. So imagine what he looks like at 35. Honestly, I don't think that bodybuilders really come into their own into the mid 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. Other
I think
than
that's
Lee
one.
Haney, who retired
Yeah,
at
when you're like, well, Lee Haney, well, no, of course that's freak. But could you imagine if Lee Haney kept going?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
imagine what he would have looked like by 35? Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that's why you saw people like Dexter, Ronnie,
Yeah.
Sean Rose,
Yeah.
Kai. Once
Yeah.
they're like 40 years old and that they're at their best.
Yeah. But I forgot about Reagan. You forget about Brandon Curry, Reagan. These guys stay, really quiet. Nobody says, and you know how Instagram is. If you don't go into somebody's page for a while, they don't come up, you know. Then when you go into their page, you start seeing their stories and you start seeing everything. So you know, but it's gonna be I think. All right, we know the top three, top four. There's Samson, Hardy, if he comes. Hopefully he gets, his bloody,
I hope so.
yeah.
I wish that Beirut would get it too.
You have Martin, Nick. I mean, listen, Nick is still God, if he was next to me, he'd probably hit me. He's still a wild card because he didn't compete for 2 years. So,
I think he's going to be very dangerous from what I'm
yes,
seeing.
but we can't say, he wasn't there last year. So I'm talking about guys of last year.
The thing, Kevin, is that to me, it's like it's not like when Ronnie or Dorian
Yeah,
was
it's moving
dominating,
around.
or
Yeah,
Lee or
yeah.
Phil. Everybody, to me, there's nobody in the top five who can't beat
No.
everybody in the top
Yeah,
five.
that's the thing. And listen, Samson has been touring and things like that. So, he opened a new gym. And this, business when it gets in the way, uh, it can ruin you, as well.
Samson's not set in stone either. He lost to
Yeah.
Derek
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
Arnold Classic. So,
Derek is the guy that's on the roll this year, huh? He
you
can make
know,
it a clean sweep.
well,
Arnold,
he could do something
Pittsburgh,
incredible. Yeah,
yeah. And
but
the
it
Olympia.
ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna
Yeah.
be easy.
And
It's gonna be a rough show.
I think it's going to be really entertaining watching from sixth downwards. We have what's his name, Raphael Brandale. I think he's qualified.
He's doing it. He's been training. He's training at my gym for the Olympia.
So he's already here.
Well, he was training with
Here,
Keon.
there, not here.
He was training with Keon for a couple of weeks, and then I think he went back to Brazil for a brief time, and then he's coming back to finish his preparation at the Dragon's Lair in Vegas.
Wow. Let's
Yeah,
just
he was training with Keon. They were having a great time.
before we finish. So,
And Raphael's another really, really nice guy.
yeah,
Gives me a big hug every time he sees me. He's just super cool.
I don't think this one's up to date. One sec. We'll talk about this, and if you don't have anything, I'm on holiday, so I can go till two in the morning if you want on my
Well, I
time.
mean, I think I don't want people to have to watch this show for 5 hours.
They won't watch it for
They're
5
done with their cardio now. They're done. So
Yeah, yeah. So we have Samson, Brett. There's Brett as well. He's
Yes.
dangerous.
yes,
Hardy, Derek, Raphael. Martin, Akeem. Akeem's always in the top 10, huh?
He's
But,
tough.
he's a beast. You have Brandon, William, Vitali, what's his name?
He's Big Vito.
Big Vito. You have
That's you gotta always
Andrew
talk about
Jack.
him.
Andrew Jack, you forgot about him.
Yeah, can't ever forget about him.
Um, if I'm not mistaken, Andrew Jack trains with that guy featured today with Destiny. They train
Oh,
at the same gym thing, and
okay. Yeah.
Andrew was with the other Fed as well before he switched over. He,
Yes,
he
yes. I
turned
remember when he
pro.
first came over.
Yeah, he turned pro and he went over. Then you have
Yep.
Nick, you have Reagan, Tonio Burton.
Another great bodybuilder. Sasan,
Yeah, Sasan,
Beirut,
Behruz. Now
who's
that,
very tough. I
now
hope he can
that,
come in.
if he comes, that's you have two of the best bodybuilders in the world. You have Hadi.
Beirut, Beirut is a top six possibility. So
Yeah, you know. You got this guy from China. He probably has like super sliced physique. I can't off the hook. You have Robel that's going to be a fan favorite.
just a fan favorite, freak.
Yeah, he's still. I mean, I'm just going to say, as much as I want to see him do well,
He'll fight. He'll fight to get into the top 10.
yeah, his arms are huge. It's just when he does the double biceps, they disappear. I don't know
He's a
what.
freak physique. He's not
Yeah,
a Mr. Olympia physique.
I've met him. I've met him. Somebody took a picture of me with him, and they never sent it to me. I'm like a midget near him.
Wow, who's not going to be a midget near him in terms of muscles?
And the time I felt really small, I was in the elevator with Crizio going to breakfast. Just me, him, and his coach. It's like there was six people in the lift. His
Yeah,
arms are
well,
as
you know
big as
what?
my
You're
my
not even
both.
lifting anymore, Kevin, so you're going to feel really small.
Yeah, I mean, his arms are as big as the width of my body. It's just so
Yeah,
funny,
well,
when you see these
he's a
guys.
monster. He's a
Yeah, yeah.
monster.
Then you have Jordan and
Who we just
Dorian.
showed. Yep.
So we
You know
might have.
what? To me, what the Olympia is going to be is going to be there's going to be one group that's the
Yeah.
fight for the top six.
And
There's
then,
going to be one group that's the
yeah,
fight for 10 through 7th.
yeah,
There's going to be two groups
yeah,
fighting,
yeah,
and then what happens after that. But to get in, obviously to get into the top six, the hardest, but
yeah,
even to get into that top 10 down to
yeah,
7 is going to
yeah.
be a war.
And obviously, then there's the 2-1-2, the men's classic physique.
Two on
Listen,
two is already done.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, no
yeah,
one's
yeah.
being, and no
But
one, I don't care what anybody says. I would
yeah,
put all the money I have on Keon and be very
yeah,
comfortable with it.
and classic physique, it's open. You know,
Classic
anybody.
physique is going to be a rough one.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. A new winner. So somebody,
It's
somebody
going
has.
to be very weird without Chris there.
Yeah, it's going to be a
So
bit.
used to seeing him up on stage with his mustache.
He'll probably give out the trophy for the winner or something. There
I
was
want
a
to say,
rumor.
let me
Yeah.
say a quick congratulations to our good friend Dave Borlay,
Yes.
our very good friend Dave Borlay, his girlfriend Jenny Worth, who's been in the sport like as long as back into the 2000s. She just did the at age 48 did the Masters Olympia in fitness, and she won, and
Fantastic.
she qualified for the Olympia at age 48, and she's going to be doing the fitness division. So
Wow.
congratulations to Dave and Jenny.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dave, one of my closest friends in the world, and Jenny, a friend of mine through Dave. But she's unbelievable. She killed it. So she's going to be rough on stage, but that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So Dave he has a lot to do now leading up to the Olympia.
Well, he's got
Mentor,
you know
coach.
what? She's the kind of person that really goes into her own little world and
Yeah.
hole,
Yeah.
and Dave kind of like sits back and let her do her thing, and that's the best place for him.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of fun going to the Olympia. I think I'm hopefully going to go with him
Yeah.
and go to watch her do her routine because she's one of the best in the world at that. But just a quick shout out because Dave is so close to us, you know.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So that's it for today.
Yep, that's
Uh,
it.
and we'll see you guys next week. I don't know if we have a special guest next week or not.
There was somebody that I was talking to. He has not confirmed yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
So it may just be the two
I'm
of us.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple of other people. I'm not going to mention their names yet. When they're on the show, they're on the show because things happen to the last, you know, to the last second either, people have to pull out because of, business and things like that. So, it's not fair for them that we stay promoting something that, we don't
No,
have.
we never know what's going to happen. But I do. I am actually going to ask the next time I see him because he hasn't been around a lot. But I'm going to ask Flex Lewis if he'd come on the show
Wow, that'd be amazing.
because yeah. So Flex, obviously, 7-time Mr. Olympia, 212 division,
Yeah.
still considered the GOAT at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's abroad at the moment, huh? He's going all over.
yeah, he's been traveling a lot this
He went
year.
he went to his home. He went
Wales, he went to Wales.
went to Wales. He's
But yeah,
been
but they've been all over the place, him and his
yeah.
beautiful wife,
No,
Valley.
I follow him.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
but next time I see him at the Dragon's Lair,
yeah,
I'm going to corner him. I'm going to say, "Hey, jump on our show. Let's see. We'll
yeah.
see if he'll do
He's
it."
been
He's such a sweet guy. He probably will.
yeah, he's been eating his fish and chips for sure because he's taking those videos, pigging
Yeah. Well,
out.
listen, the guy last year tore his tricep.
Yeah. He still
This year
looks
tore his bicep.
he still looks massive.
He tore his tricep and then his bicep. And I'll look at him and he'll come into the gym and I'll look at him and be like, Flex, you look freaking sick. And he'll be like, yeah, I haven't trained in 3 months. And then I just want to punch him in the face.
Yeah, I know. I
Because
know.
he still manages to look just like a slightly smaller. He's like always ripped. He's
Yeah.
always got his calves like this big,
Yeah.
forearms like this big,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and he looks amazing. And I'll just be like, he'll just be like, yeah, I haven't. He goes, I've been to the gym like once in the last 3 months, and it's ridiculous. It's
It's,
ridiculous. But
that's why
that's a genetic freak.
that's why they are the top of the top, the best of the
You
best.
have to have those genes, man. There's nothing more
Yeah,
important than the
you know,
genes.
but anyways. So that's it for now, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Everybody like it, subscribe, share
Yeah,
it. Come on, let's push it.
come on.
Let's
Push
get
this.
going.
We have to push this show. I know it's not easy. There's a lot of we have to kidnap Jay Cutler and silence them for a couple of months. What do you think, Eric? That's you have to do. We have to plan something.
Yeah, right. We have to do a Nancy Kerrigan.
Eric and Dennis James and Dave and just put them in the same
Well, you know
room
what?
and
There's room for all of us. People are
yeah,
going to catch up to the show. There's a
yeah,
lot of good information
yeah,
there.
yeah.
We've had some great guests.
Of
It'll take some
course,
time,
of
but
course.
I assure
But
you that Kevin and I will be here back every Wednesday.
I enjoy it. I look forward to it. I get to speak to my buddy, Eric, and we get to talk about bodybuilding. Sometimes, like I said, everything is, we just put up a couple of points and we just, improvise the entire show. So
That's what makes it fun. You don't want
that's
to.
what makes it
I
fun,
wouldn't want to do a scripted
and
type
when I
thing.
watch it, yeah, when I watch it, sometimes I get these funny episodes, and we share them, on social media. So that's it for now.
See
We'll
you
talk
next
next
time.
week.
All right. Peace out
Later.
from me and this
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
Kevin.
See you guys.
All right. Take care, guys.